My friend Will does it.
Okay, good. That's good. Remember him. I'm gonna start you out with a little video. You probably know this guy, Jeremy Wade.
Who doesn't know who Jeremy Wade is?
I don't know who.
Tough crowd.
I don't know.
River Monsters? It's a great show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna play this one.
Did you plug in your speakers?
You gotta turn it up. Maybe turn it down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at I'm down, and I've just dived into an excavation nest.
I'll move the speaker.
I'm looking at Oklahoma, and I've just dived into an
Other way.
visibility is 0. And as I feel around, something bites my hand. Hard.
You move that way.
It's my first
Better.
catfish. Nate puts a stringer through its mouth and out its gill flap so it can't escape. Oh, but that fish was lying there. Boom, bit me once, and let go. And then I sort of fumbled around, and then actually reached into his mouth. It's a creepy feeling. I'm putting my body in there. Dylan's feeding me in, pushing me in, head first into a hole under the water. There's something that's going to bite me in there. It's dark, I can't see anything. What a stupid thing to be doing. As fishing goes, it didn't get much more mad than that. As Nate promised, the catfish is still full of fight. It tries to do a characteristic roll. If we can't control it, it
Time
just
purposes
straight
on
to
the
snap.
closet.
We're gonna
Continue.
answer.
Not right now, but it's kind of cold. But he goes on and talks about a couple of deaths caused by hand fishing. And yes, it's a true danger. It's out there. People drown all the time. And I'll talk about dangers later on. So I'm just going to continue. The species, okay? Right here is a flathead catfish. You can kind of tell its head's a lot flatter than the blue over here, plus the two colors are different. And the tail is different also. So like a blue catfish is kind of like this, kind of goes down like that, and then a flathead's like that. So you can't really see it that good. But you can't catch and keep and eat blue catfish with hand fishing. You had to catch and release, but you can still catch them all day, and they're awesome. And they're also known as an apex predator. So basically, they're like super predators. They'll eat everything, super aggressive. They'll even eat other catfish. You know, there's channel cats, probably about up to 12 inches that this guy would eat for dinner. So very aggressive animals. Also, they have indeterminate growth. So basically, they just keep on growing, and as long as there's a food source and the conditions are right, they'll just keep getting bigger and bigger. The state record for Kansas is 123 pounds. So what factors do you think keeps fish growing to this size? Anyone?
Food supply.
What there's a predator bone they got in the food.
Yes.
They're gonna get the more stuff they eat.
Exactly. So basically the ecosystem, if it's conducive to growth, it's going to take place. So which ecosystem do you think would hold bigger fish?
That
Yes.
one's the bigger one.
You're exactly right. So basically fish, there's still big fish in this ecosystem, not as many, and a lot of times they'll kind of be born in this environment, move on to bigger environments so they can keep feeding. So as long as they keep eating, they'll keep growing. So gravity plays a big role in indeterminate growth. So basically, when you're in the swimming pool and it's buoyant and you're floating around, like I know Jake, he knows what I'm talking about. He's pretty much like a life preserver, but you can just float around basically. So that's the same thing with fish. So those keep growing.
I actually
because
sink pretty good.
gravity's not keeping them down pretty well.
But you don't do English well.
Okay, habitats. Places to basically hand fish. It's like log jams is a good place. Beaver huts is another good place. You gotta be careful. And I like tree roots because basically the current kind of eats it out of the side of the hill, and it's kind of like a cavern in there. So it's kind of spooky though, because like the tree roots kind of tickle you, and you don't know what's really there. So yeah. But okay, dangers. Of course, beavers, because basically the habitat catfish like, beavers also kind of like, so they're kind of in the same area. Snapping turtles, of course, that's Jake in 10 years. And copperheads, they're probably the most dangerous out of all of them. Yes?
Are
beavers aggressive?
Yeah, if you corner them, yeah, they will bite you. They're actually really aggressive. And also, the rusty hooks are very aggressive, or very dangerous also, because
What did you say?
Rusty hook.
rusty hooks.
Oh.
I call them aggressive, but they're not.
Is it good for
Yeah,
her
watch
studies?
my Easy there, okay. But basically, trot lines, people say trot lines with hundreds of hooks on them, and they get tangled up and they just break them off, so they're floating in the water. So when you're down underneath the water, basically, you get hooked up, and it's really dangerous. You can drown really easy, and that's kind of like one of the main causes of drowning is because of rusty hooks and stuff. Rusty metal also, like, you know, you get cut all the time, so you need tennis shots quite a bit. Yeah, that's a pain in the butt.
It sounds like dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, and I was gonna talk about the technique basically. Most of the time you had to work in groups, like you never go alone just because of the dangers. A lot of times we kind of go in head first, but if you're kind of shy, you can kind of go in there with your foot, keep your head above the water, and you can feel in there and see if there's a fish in there. And basically, the fish will bite your hand. It's that aggressive that when you have it cornered and you use blockers on either side, the fish is gonna bite you. So basically, it's kind of like two bricks closing together. You could hear it. When they bite you and miss, you just hear that underneath the water because it's just clomping down. So when it gets you, it's actually really, it's kind of painful if it gets your fingertips because it kind of really hurts.
Fish don't have teeth.
They actually,
Yeah,
they do, they kind of have like little barbs that are like sandpaper basically. So when they thrash around, there'll be burns and kind of, like I probably have a couple on my hand, just from thrashing around from it. So, yeah. And you kind of crowd them in, like the log jams, you have to use a group of people and kind of crowd them in and then make it bite you basically, because it's kind of impossible to grab the body and catch it that way. You have to get by them. So any questions?
So you have to get bitten more than?
Yeah, that's the easiest way.
But you just let them go afterwards?
Most of the time I do, yeah.
Just do for the thrill of it?
Yeah.
That's not.
Unless it's like a decent sized fish, then, yeah.
So like a outfit you have to wear, you just wear whatever you're
Can you imagine your imagination right now? But like most of the time, like tighter fitting clothing, just so it doesn't get stuck on everything. A lot of times, like you don't wear a shirt because like hooks and stuff like that. Like I rather have I guess I don't know. A hook in my skin would kind of suck because you'd have to pull it out. But a hook in your shirt, you could probably take your shirt off and be okay. But I try to carry a knife every time I go, just in case.
And you wear a glove when you do it?
Sometimes you can, but a lot of times you don't have to. Like football gloves is what I use most of the time. So.
And do you do this like all year round?
No, you can't. There's only a certain time period. You
There's a
really can't.
season?
There's a season. Yeah, and it's basically in summer, all summer basically.
Well, I figured out, but you said you had like a bite on your hand, so I just wondered if like you had recently done it.
Oh, no. It's kind of cold right
Kinda
now.
cold.
Yeah.
You said something about how the blue catfish, you have to catch and release those, are they endangered or?
They are not, but flatheads are basically like super predators. They're taking over ecosystems, so they're trying to get rid of them basically. Blue catfish are kind of more, I guess, docile, but they still eat a lot of fish and grow pretty big. So you could catch them with like rod and reel. And
Gotcha.
he doesn't